So I've got my GH5 today. It's got version 2.3 firmware installed, which I'd like to think the 179 degree focus fix had something to do with, which is all good for all of us because it means it works a little bit better. What I've also got is I've got a Viltrox EF-M2 adapter, and on the front I've got a EFS 55 to 250 lens, the STM lens. Now, version 3 firmware for the EF-M2 lets you use this lens. The previous one never did. I actually contacted Viltrox and they were really quick to respond, and I asked could they add it as a compatibility for the actual EF-M2, and they said they'd see what they could do, and within no time at all version 3 firmware came out, and lo and behold it works. So I'm here today trying it out, and because we've got the latest firmware with the new focus system in the GH5 as well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run around and do some videoing. Now you might think it's a bit overkill what I've actually got here. I love using this rig like this though. So I've got a secondary monitor, and with this lens what you can use is the follow focus attached to the actual zoom ring. So when I turn my focus ring rather, my zoom activates. So I can leave the focus within the GH5, do its bit, and then we'll find out if it's actually working well enough to make it function like this. That's the plan anyway. What I'll try and do is I'll go around my willing subjects, these horses, do a little bit of videoing and see if we can just video using our zoom as you would do on like a camcorder, really, to see if the actual focus system will do its job well enough. The camera's going to be set up in HLG because it gives me as much dynamic range, or it seems to give me as much dynamic range as possible. I'll put a Rec 709 conversion on it, 2020 709 afterwards, so it looks fine on the screen. But what we'll do is we'll do it like that, and we'll see how we get on. I'll try and keep the lens reasonably wide open, so you should get an idea of what the actual quality's like on this lens as well. Just a word to the caution really, it is a variable aperture lens, so I'll set it to 5.6, which will mean throughout the zoom range it stays constant, so we shouldn't get any like clicking or any silly things like that going on where the lens is getting darker. So as they say, without further ado, I've got a couple of little beauty horses coming along here now. What I'm going to try and do is try and do some videoing. Let's see how we get on zooming in. They've actually still got a lot of their winter coats on for a minute. It's at 250 now. 250 at f8 that is. Our little horse isn't very far away. About 15 feet away. Here's a little cutie. It's 250mm. We're at centre point autofocus. This is f5.6. And that's a 55mm. And that's now 250mm. We've got IS on, but not IS lock. I think it's fair to say it's actually pretty good. It's not perfect. It's a little way off being perfect, to be honest, but it's actually quite usable. So the results, especially the quality of the lens, they're really quite good. And considering the price of the 55 to 250 lens is so cheap, I picked this one up new for just over £100, which is like the bargain of the century, really. The first thing I did was I cut the back off it to make it fit to the EF mount of the Viltrox adapter, and I was a bit gutted when I first did it because the Viltrox didn't support it at that time, but now it does. It's all really quite usable, and like I say, it's not perfect, but it's not bad, and it's definitely worth persevering with, because the image quality you get from the lens is really quite good. As always, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, as I say, give it a thumbs down twice. And if you haven't already, think about subscribing. So to finish, you didn't think I was going to let you get away with that having a proper focus test, did you? So let's have a quick walk. And the lens is at 250mm, and it's in face tracking mode, 25p. And I just walk up towards the camera, because we all love these tests, don't we? Forward, 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 all the way up. And you can see it's pretty good. It's got me, it's not bad. You do get to see a bit of fluttering going on, especially with the white colours behind. But all in all, it's actually a lot better than it used to be. So it's all good. Let's just use this camera. Thanks for watching.